Hey guys, Slev here, and today I'm going to be talking about what I think about the World Domination series. So, of course this is a PlanetSide video, so you'll be seeing PlanetSide footage in the background, but this is really more about talking. Specifically about the World Domination series, or WDS, as I will probably refer to it for the rest of this video. So for those of you who are not aware, the World Domination series is kind of this yearly event Sony does to promote PlanetSide and also just to promote a better player experience. It's got some problems. So the first WDS was rife with problems and complaints, particularly in the fact that the Terran Republic won handily just due to the fact that they had such a large population. So let's ask ourselves, did Sony try to change it this year? Short answer, no. Basically, yes, Sony did change a lot of things with the World Domination series, but they did nothing to fix population causing victories. So let's run through how the World Domination series works this year. So every base has a capture and defend point a point total associated with it, and these point totals accrue over time. So if one empire is holding a base for a really long time, then it becomes worth a lot more to capture, but it also becomes worth a lot more to hold on to. This encourages people to fight over bases that have been held for a long time. There's a problem with this, though. These points accrue whether people are there or not, which means if there's a base by your warp gate, it will get a lot of points, even if no one has been fighting there. So in the first week of the World Domination series, you got a lot of points for capturing. So many points for capturing that people weren't actually fighting. There were just huge Zergs ghost capping continents, or alternatively, huge Zergs avoiding each other to go and capture each other's bases. It's not a fun game when that happens. So they decided to change it, and Rel, I'm sure all of you know Rel, he's a big PlanetSide YouTuber. Rel came up with this idea of just flipping the attack and defense points, so you get more points for defending than attacking. And that's exactly what SOE decided to do. It still doesn't really fix the core problem, but I will get into that. So, you might be asking yourself, well, the World Domination series sounds like a fun event, but why would I go out of my way to avoid fighting and get points when I'm not getting anything for it? That's the rub. You do get something for the World Domination series this year. You get what I will call loot crates. If you've played Team Fortress 2, it's basically like a crate that you open and you get a random item, except instead of having to buy the crate, you just earn the points for the crate. So far, what we've discovered is what you can find inside these crates are single-use camos. For those of you who played PlanetSide, I'd say this has been almost a year now, there were things called single-use camos. These camouflages could be attached to something, and they would stay on that thing until you changed it. Sony decided to get rid of them because no one was buying them, and they were frankly a really stupid idea. Sony's brought them back for this event. Secondly, and perhaps more importantly, you can also get weapons. I have not gotten any weapons myself. I don't know many people who have gotten them, but I have seen posts of people who were getting the NS7, which is the Common Pool PDW, or SMG, and they were getting the black and gold variants, so the expensive specialty variants. The other thing you can earn are 1-hour experience boosts, which a lot of players would probably appreciate, but if you already have a boost like Alpha Squad or you purchase a heroic boost, then the boosts are really pretty useless too. So I've been playing over time, and so far I have gotten 20 single-use camos and 6 boosts. I have an Alpha Squad on my character, so the boosts are worthless. And I purchased the camouflage that I liked most for my weapons and armor, so single-use camouflages are also useless to me. In other words, this event has really not done anything for me. Actually, I won't say it's done nothing. I will say it has made me not enjoy PlanetSide as much. The problem is, it's brought in a huge number of players who used to play but had stopped. And these are very good players. And I'm not complaining that there's competition. I enjoy competition, and I enjoy playing against really good players. The problem is, as a Terran player now, I am horribly outpopulated most of the time. You see, in the original World Domination series, the Terrans had the huge population, and at that time I was actually a Vanu player, but it wasn't terrible. However, with the new impetus to have Zergs pushing a base, you just get massive population crushes, and a lot of the time the Terrans just cannot field the number of players needed to hold or cap a base. It's important to note, in the first week of preseason this year, the Terrans did not win on any server, and this is not due to the Terrans being underpowered or the other empires being overpowered. This is entirely population, something that we all know very well, fourth factioning. As of right now, the NC have the fourth faction advantage, just because with the recent changes, the NC have become a lot better. I wouldn't say they've become overpowered, they've just become more powerful. And people have switched because they want to play the big, powerful empire. And this has given the NC a huge population advantage on many of the servers. So, what can Sony do to fix this? Well, the easiest solution is just to say that deviations from 33% population lead to score changes. If the Terrans have 30% of players on, then they should be getting 3% more points per base capture or defense. And if the NC have 40% on, they should be getting 7% less. That's the simple solution. And the other thing you could do is simply to say that at prime time you would see, let's say you see 300 players on at prime time. That's probably a very low number, but let's estimate 300 to make the math easy. Then, at off time, when there's maybe 50 people online, you should see the number of points earned reduced by, let's say, 70%. That's just to make it so that during the late night hours, when there's less people on, you don't see massive score shifts. The first day of the World Domination series on Waterson, where I play, the VS and TR were nearly tied all day with the NC trailing behind. I came back after sleeping overnight during off time when almost no one was on, and the NC had gained a 15,000 point lead, which they are continuing to hold, essentially. So, the biggest issue is just this population issue. Whoever can field the most players is invariably going to win the World Domination series, and most people had already said before it even started that the NC were going to win, and it's very clear that that is going to happen on almost every server, except for the very few where the Vanu have a population advantage. But I do highly doubt the TR will take the win on any server just due to their hugely diminished population. I think Sony really needed to look at this event a lot more carefully before they release it. Even just that point swapping that I talked about earlier, they should have figured that out long before they released it to us players, and it's worrisome to see that, because it means they did this event without really thinking about what it would do to the community, and it really has, at least in my opinion, ruined the gameplay. I find the fights are much less enjoyable just because you get these huge population crushes. You go to a little base to go capture it, and 30 enemies show up out of nowhere to just annihilate you. It's completely changed the dynamic of the game, and I don't think it's changed it for the better. And I, for one, cannot wait until the event is over, and we can go back to the traditional PlanetSide 2 gameplay we've all come to expect. Now, I'm sure many of you will not agree with me, and I'd love to hear your comments down below. But if you liked the video, liked what I have to say, please like and subscribe below. You can follow me on Twitter at Stygiis with 2 eyes. I list all my characters down below if you'd like to talk to me or play with me in game. And as always, have a nice day.